Hi everyone, welcome to this interactive session where we will be discussing about how to apply for PGDM in the MBA colleges after your CMAT examination. Rather, I'm sure by now you are done and dusted by all the major exams, whether you've given CAT, ZAT, CMAT, MAT, and few other examinations, all of you might have given. Now in this session, we'll discuss about how to apply for colleges, how to select right colleges, and more importantly, how you prepare for GD and PI. There's important disclaimer. Students who are looking forward for PGDM applications, in the description box, you can see important links, and please see all the important links so that you can actually get in touch with all the mentors who will help you out to select right colleges also for you. Let me also welcome Professor Alok, who is heading the admissions also at Atlas University Bombay, which was formerly called as ISM in Mumbai. Welcome on board, sir.
Thank you very much, Abhijit, and good morning to all students, viewers, and it's a beautiful Sunday Easter morning, and my compliments of the season to everyone.
No doubt. First of all, thank you for taking your time out on the Sunday, for devoting your time for making this session very much possible for us also. Cool. So I've got a bunch of questions for you, and this has come straight away from all the students who have appeared for CMAT exam just now, and people who have secured some decent percentile in CAT, ZAT, and few other examination also. So I want you to answer those questions so that they can get right guidance and select better colleges for their future. Okay. So I'm sure the recent examination which has happened now was basically CMAT. Okay. And post that, all the second round of applications for the tier 1 colleges and for tier 2 colleges, the primary applications have just started, which is either for the PGDM programs or the MBA programs. So my first question for you is, sir, what is the overall importance of the CMAT examination in the selection, the final selection of students? At the same time, some students possibly might have not given CMAT exam. They still want to apply via the CAT exam or the ZAT examination. So do you consider all the competitive examinations on par? Or if not, then what is the preference? How do colleges select students with various examinations they are coming from?
All right. In Atlas, as you know, and as the students must be knowing, we offer MBA degree, MBA program. We offer MBA with specializations in marketing, finance, entrepreneurship, business analytics, and also in digital marketing and advertising. This is MBA we are offering. And we give a lot of weightage to competitive exams. In fact, this is one of the criteria to get the students admitted into the program, along with other criteria like your academic scores, GD scores, your PI scores. But this is very important. We give a lot of weightage to exams like CAT, ZAT, CMAT, and MAT, and also CET. CMAT is a very important examination. The students have just written examinations, and at Atlas also second round of applications have begun. We are having our next GDPI on 23rd and 25th. So if I talk about weightage to these competitive exams, definitely CMAT is one exam we look forward to students writing these exams and coming to us. These exams really show seriousness on the part of students. So as far as CMAT is, and we go by scores, as you know, we go by scores. So for CMAT, we look for 80% and above in CMAT exam. CMAT exam, in CAT 70% and above, ZAT 70% and above, CET 85% and above. So these are the cutoffs what we have at Atlas, for admitting students into our MBA program. See, ours is a small cohort. We have three cohort of 60 each, and almost 2 cohorts have been filled. And we are looking with the students with good scores in these competitive examinations so that we can have a brilliant cohort and, we move ahead.
Perfect. Just to summarize, you were saying CAT, ZAT, and possibly CMAT on the upper hand. I mean, the preference for these examinations will always be slightly challenging with respect to lower cutoffs. And when you compare this with MAT and CET, they will obviously require more percentile students to come up with, right?
Absolutely. If you ask me, CAT, MAT, and CMAT, these examinations, as I said, I'll prefer, and then also, as you said, CT,
Perfect.
CT.
And I'm sure the other colleges they are applying for will also have a similar kind of cutoffs for CAT, ZAT, and few others, right?
All institutions,
Yeah.
all universities, all PGDM institutions which are affiliated to AICTE or UGC, like we are affiliate. I mean, we are approved by UGC. Ours is a Maharashtra government approved university, also approved by UGC, and we are part of AIU as well. So this is a mandate. This is mandatory. Students must have written one of these examinations. See, writing this examination is fine. A lot of students write, but to be very honest, we look for good scores. And other institutions also in Bombay, across country, would want this scores, this scores of competitive exams from students to get themselves enrolled in their MBA program. It's absolutely necessary and important.
Certainly, yes. So my second question for you is, let's say students possibly would want to apply for 4 or 5 colleges after the CMAT examination, so that at least in one of them, they're able to convert the GDPI and secure the seat also. Now, what parameters students should actually grade or let's say select colleges on? I mean, there are a lot of aspects that they've actually looked into, right from the perspective of the placements, right from the perspective of fees, faculties, curriculum, extracurriculars, a lot of other things that they look into. From your perspective, what are the important 4 or 5 pointers that the students should actually look into before applying for colleges?
Yeah, I would be happy to answer this.
Yeah.
There are 5-6 criteria a student must look at, before enrolling himself or herself into the program. See, the first criteria, not first criteria, I would tell accreditation of the institution. The student must look at, location of the institution, pedagogy of the institution, and also infrastructure of the institution, and internships and placement record of the institution. If we can put it in chronological order here, that's fine. But if one student is looking at an institution, I would say location is very, very important. I would certainly tell students to look for metropolis, cities like Bombay, Bangalore, Chennai, Pune, Hyderabad. So these are see, if the exposure would be very, very high, in a city like Bombay, which is the financial capital of India, the exposure would be very high, very, very high. The kind of corporate visitors would come to you, teachers would come to you from industry. That will make a lot of difference. For example, we are located in BKC, which is stone up throw away distance from almost around 2,000 plus corporates. Every week we keep getting corporate visitors from various reputed companies who come and talk to our students. So I would say location is very important. Where you are studying, it gives a lot of exposure. Second, you should look at the faculty pool of the institution. See, every institution would have good faculty, but you should definitely have a look at the pool of faculty on the website. You can easily find out, and you will have PhDs, coming and teaching, industry experts coming and teaching. So the faculty is, the pool of faculty is very, very important. Third is infrastructure. You should, it's a modern, modern day, and unlike our times when we used to go to typical schools and colleges and MBA institutions, times have changed. You have institutions with state-of-art infrastructure and a lot of facilities. You should have a, how I should put it, one should feel like being there. One should feel like studying there, So infra plays a major role, So a lot of institutions have incubation labs, instead of art facilities, great library, modern day age classrooms. So infra plays a very important role, And thirdly, accreditation is very important. One should look at if institute is UGC approved or AICT affiliated. That is very important. If you want to do a PhD after doing your MBA, so you can do it only on the basis of a degree. See, like our institution, we offer degree approved by UGC. On the basis of that, our students can do PhD. Or if students are doing PGDM, that institute should be affiliated to AICTE. So that PGDM, that postgraduate diploma in management or MBA degree make a lot of difference. So accreditation is very, very important.
Certainly.
Then
Yes.
I was talking about curriculum. For example, at Atlas, our curriculum is vetted by industry experts. On our board of advisors, we have stalwarts like Mr. Deepak Parekh, head of Nestle, head of Unilever, head of Colgate-Palmolive, head of WNS. And when we when we launched our curriculum, we took our curriculum to them. And we got it vetted by them because we want to teach what is relevant. We want our students to be job ready. So tomorrow, when you go to the market, go to work, you should not only have bookish knowledge, but you should also have practical experience, practical knowledge. So that is very important. So curriculum, pedagogy, pool of faculty, infra, accreditation, and location. These are few points I would suggest every student to look at before enrolling himself for a master's program.
No. That's a very valid point which you have actually come up with. Now, one of the aspects that people or let's say students give a lot of weightage, which as per me is not as important as the other parameters which you have discussed about, is the fees. The fees for all the colleges comes comparatively. I mean, it's not going to be like a drastic differences, but it's going to be like a small minor difference between the fees of various institutions. Now, considering the kind of let's say the learning that we have got as of now, the overall psychological understanding of parents and the students who are studying in India are still considering that MBA fees should actually be sponsored by family. Now, what is your take with respect to someone who's actually looking forward for great colleges and looking for, and possibly they are not able to apply for those colleges considering the fees is slightly higher? I mean, the students are not aware of a lot of non-collateral loans, or let's say bank or the institution tie-ups or the NBFC tie-ups with the colleges would have had, and which will help them to actually take loans also, the education loan. So without disturbing the, let's say the financials of the family, or without putting a lot of burden on the shoulders of the parents, they can actually look forward for validation that whether they are eligible for the loan or no, how can they apply for NBFCs. Yeah. So all those questions, if you can just help me out with a very, let's
Absolutely.
say.
In today's time, getting loan or getting money to study has become easy. And I agree with you. Fine, if family can afford nothing like it, it's absolutely fine. If not, students or parents should go to institution and take education loan and move ahead. In Atlas, we help students. We have not Tiger, but we have brought a lot of financial institutions to Atlas who help students in obtaining education loan, and that too interest free. So we have institutions like GreyQuest, Credila, Avance, So we have brought these institutions to our university, and once a student applies, there are a few things. We look at bright students. We look at bright students, and if someone is not able to afford, see, our fee is very, very competitive, as you know, sir. And if someone is not able to, if someone is bright, and someone is not able to afford, we help students in form of scholarships. We have two scholarships need-based and merit-based. So a lot of students come to us who, on the basis of need-based scholarship, we give them. Still, if that is not sufficient, we help them connect with these financial institutions and get educational loans. So today, money is not an obstacle for any student, in terms of enrolling for MBA or masters or any postgraduate program. A lot of government institutions also, I know, like Bank of Baroda, SBI, and PNB, to name a few, they easily give educational loan to the students. So that's, I don't think it's an obstacle. And with private banks and government banks being there in the market, and with a lot of competitions, students can easily get educational loans on minimum interest or interest free also.
So amazing, so amazing. So just to summarize and conclude, the other parameters which are more towards the infrastructure, placements, faculties, curriculum, and the pedagogy will be way much more important than what the importance of fees, what has been overhyped in, let's say, student mind, right? So if at all they're looking for any assistance with respect to getting education loan, any college or specifically Atlas also will help them to gradually secure the loan from various institutions which are there on board with the college, right? So amazing.
Yes.
And now coming to the most important point, sir. So considering the exams have just got over, students are looking forward for applying for various colleges in this last round. Now, where does Atlas stand? What is the USP of Atlas? Why should people apply for Atlas University? If you can help us with some major understanding on those pointers, it's going to be easy for students also to look up to the college and apply for the given
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll tell you. The first one to begin with, Atlas SkillTech University is India's first and only, urban university. By which I mean, we are located in, in corporate business park. We are there. If all students who are viewing from Bombay, they must be knowing Bandra Kurla complex, and we are there in Equinox, which is a hub of corporate, sector. We are there in Tower 1, and the entire, ground 2 plus 7th floor is ours, And in the same complex, you have more than 400 companies. If you just move away 1 kilometer, you have BKC. There you have more than 5,000 companies. So we call it, we call ourselves India's first urban university. You will find, you will not find any in Bombay or at other places also. So the kind of atmosphere we have, the kind of rather vibrant atmosphere we have at Atlas, with our state of art infrastructure, surrounded by this corporate world, corporate visitors coming to us, talking to our students, grooming them, for future year. So we have this edge. India's first urban university. Our corporate connect is huge. Our students go to the board meetings of Colgate-Palmolive, Hindustan Liver, SDFC. You see students rubbing shoulders with Mr. Deepak Parekh, or several head honchos of these companies. That makes a lot of difference. So our infrastructure, our corporate connect, and India's first urban university. So we have a lot of pluses with us. Why a student should come to Atlas. And also, ours is a very young institution. We started our institution in 2013 by name of SD, School of Design and Innovation. And let me tell you, this is this brand has become India's #1 school in terms of design. Students from across India come to us to study design. Then we started ISME, which is School of Management and Entrepreneurship, in 2016. And in a span of 5 years, we became an university. It's a big big achievement, getting university status in a span of 5 years, that too in Bombay, that too by government of Maharashtra. It's a matter of great pride for us. So we have a lot of pluses, plus also the way we groom our. You must come to our campus and talk to our students. I would also encourage the students to come to us and meet our faculty and students. You look at our quality. I would not only harp upon internships, placements. That will happen. That is going to happen in every institution. I suggest the students to take a plunge and immerse themselves in studies in next 2 years, so that learning curve, learning graph goes upward, and upward. I keep telling all my students, especially who come from outside, you are not going to have fun here. These 2 years are going to be very critical. We are going to grill you. So you better brace yourself for a roller coaster ride in next 2 years and study. If you study well, internships will come to you, placements will come to you. No one can stop that. So ours is a dynamic and modern age institution, Mr. Abhijit. And as I said, the grooming, corporate connect, our location, our infra. So these are some of the points which draw a lot of students to us. As I was telling, ours is a small cohort, and we have almost 70% seats have already been filled in the first round. We are going for the second round from 23rd. Our GDPI is there. So these are the points I would state why Atlas.
So amazing. So the upcoming round of GDPI is going to be on 23rd, right?
23rd, yes.
And is there any other follow-up round for GDPI students who are actually missing on this deadline who can apply for the further rounds?
Can you have to be a little?
No, I'm saying, do you have one more round of GDPI process which is going to happen after 23rd? Or is this the final deadline of?
We'll have 2 more rounds.
Okay.
We'll have 2 more rounds after 23rd April. We are doing 23rd April for all our Bombay students. 25th, we are doing virtually for our outstation students. And in the month of then May, we'll have 1 more or 2 more. That's all, and then we close. From 1st June, we start our prep classes. We call it Head Start and Leadership Explorer. This goes on for a month, and then the actual classes, your trimester starts from July.
Yeah.
By I think 15th or 20th May will close.
Perfect. And what is the last deadline for students who are looking forward for 23rd of GD and PI?
You'll have to apply by 20th.
20th is the last date. Perfect. Cool.
Yes.
So amazing to see you on board, sir, this time for this fantastic session. And again, important disclaimer, people who are looking forward for this PGDM and the MBA application at Atlas, look at the description box to get all the important links and register yourself so that we can help you out to groom for GD and the PA process also. It was so amazing and fantastic to see you, sir.
I would take 1 more minute. I would take 1
sir.
more minute. I would like to give some tips to my students.
Perfect.
I've been taking GD and PI since a couple of decades, and a lot of students come to me for GD, and some of them I find really brilliant. Some of them who are brilliant in terms of their scores, academic scores, but they sometimes they do not do well in GD. My tips to everyone: you are aspiring for a master's program. You should be well versed with current affairs. You should have knowledge of politics, sports, finance, economy, etc. And you should also be able to speak, ready to speak. You may be academically brilliant, but if you don't speak, I'll not be able to judge you. Come with prep, come with preparation. Because at Atlas, we are very particular about GD and PI. We do a lot of profile-based selection. Maybe a student may not have scored well in class 10, 12th, and graduation, but he's done very well in GD and PI. I would take that student. I would take that student. So students, you know, you must have deep knowledge of what I said of current affairs, politics, finance, sports, etc. And you should also be able to speak. Prepare yourself. Talk in front of mirror before a day before your GD. And in terms of PI, you should know yourself well. Everyone asks, tell me about yourself. So telling I'm Alok Baptist, I'm from Mitibai or NM. So, I mean, you should start differently. Talk about your strengths. What are you good at? Why are you here? Why do you want to do masters? What is your dream? And why institution must select you? What is there which I am not able to see in your application form? What is there in your CV which I'm not able to see? A lot of students come and put it brilliantly. A lot of students come and answer in a traditional way. I would suggest go all out. Don't talk about, everybody knows your name. We know your name and your college. We know your scores. We know. But what extra have you done? What value you would bring to Atlas or for that matter, any other institution? That is important.
So
every institution looks for brightest students. So what happens, you know, job for everyone becomes easy.
No doubt.
All right, so students, prepare yourself for group discussion and PI. And Mr. Abhijit, I'm there for your students. Anyone would want to connect, they can connect with me for further tips. It is great connecting with you and all youngsters on this Sunday. I wish them all the best and wishing happy Easter to all of you.
So amazing to see you on this session, sir. It was a pleasure to get you on board. And I'm sure a lot of applications after the Cmat examination is going to flood to the institution of yours. And I'm sure you should select the best of the best minds to your institution so that they are able to place themselves in the top-notch companies too. Thank you so much for your time and guidance, sir. I wish you all the best and stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you.